Welcome back to Green Bee Explorer. Today I'm making my puppy her organic wet food, almost organic. So I have organic, boneless, skinless chicken breasts here. I have about 1.3 pounds of this, so I'll make her that. And then I have 2 little sweet potatoes. I also have frozen peas and carrots. And then I also have brown rice. And I'll go through step by step of how I'm going to prepare these for her wet food that I give her to her at night. The brown rice I'm going to cook in the pressure cooker. Brown rice usually want to do a 1-to-2 ratio, but in this case with everything else, I'm probably going to be adding 2 cups to the whole recipe. So this is 1/4 cup of rice. But again, you want to do a 1-to-2 ratio, 1 cup of, in this case, 1/4 cup of rice, and it would be 2 cups of water, but in this case I'm doing more because I'm adding a lot more into my meal. So we'll start with the rice. And then I'll add my 2 cups of water. Again, this is because I'm adding a lot more to the dish. Now you can see I added my 2 cups of water. Next, I'm going to chop up my sweet potatoes. I'm going to clean them really well. I'm going to leave them skin on, but clean them really well. Chop them into little bits and put them with the rice. So I'll show you that in 1 sec. These are my sweet potatoes chopped up, so we'll start adding these to the mix. Now I'm going to kind of look at this. I'm not adding all of these yet. I still have to add my chicken, and I'll dice that up as well. So let's see how much fits in there. I want to try and make this an even ratio, actually focusing more and more on the chicken, so that way she has more meat in her diet. And then we also have the peas and carrots we also want to add. I have the chicken chopped up now into about bite-sized pieces. The reason I did it this way is so it cooks a little faster. I'll start adding it. And then also, in the next step, it'll make it a lot easier. So keep following the video and I'll show you more steps with how to cook it, prepare for it, and store it for later, because obviously a puppy cannot eat all of this. This will be eaten over time, stored in the fridge and the freezer. And I will show you how I do that. Just keep following. Oh, I cannot get those off. But here we go for the next step. I gave everything a little stir. You can hear my puppy. I gave everything a little stir, and you can see it's soaking pretty well in the water. But I am going to add 1 more cup of water because the rice will absorb some of that water. So I'm just going to add that. And you'll see why it'll help out a little bit later. So now I'm going to cook this in my pressure cooker for 15 to 20 minutes. It depends how you end up cooking yours. I'm probably going to go for 15. And yeah, you're probably asking why not add the peas and carrots. I'm going to add those in the end. So keep watching and you'll see why. So we have our meal in the pressure cooker. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set chicken. Oh, it has never done that to me. Oh, the reason it's doing that I realize is because I didn't lock it. So lock, flick the release valve back. It's set, I'm going to say, and I'm going to go down to 15 minutes. So again, I did that really fast. I did chicken, and then I said cook time, and I pushed it down to 15 minutes. And now it'll start itself. There we go. Everything has cooked for 15 minutes. If you see right here, the sweet potato is falling apart. The chicken is turning itself into kind of a pulled chicken, which is great. The rice is a little bit harder to see, but it is completely cooked. It's soft. I gave it a little taste test. So now we're going to get into our next step. So this is the fun part. So keep watching and I'll show you how we're going to continue to make my puppy dog her dinner. My next step was transferring it to my blender. And I'm going to be adding the peas and carrots as well. So we'll take a look at that and we'll start blending. Again, I added that extra broth in the beginning, so that way there was plenty of liquid in there to blend with. So let's start blending. She's waiting. Look at her. Of course, she's never heard a blender before. Perfect. So let's see what we got. It's still really hot. Oh, I lost my little, oh, there it is. Okay, so a nice little puree. I'm gonna let this cool down and we'll let her taste test and judge whether she likes it or not. You can see the little carrots and bits in there, but you see it's mostly white because I wanted to make sure it concentrated on the chicken. That way she has her protein. But I can always go back. Oh, and there is a little bit more I can add that I didn't want to fill it all the way. I can add a little bit more carrots and peas, but we'll see how she likes it. And this is the recipe, so keep watching and we'll see her reaction. It turns out my blender had just enough room to use up the rest of the cooked chicken inside of the pressure cooker, and I had enough room to fit all of this, well, a little bit in there. But it turned out perfect. And again, and the one thing I'm going to do also is I'm always going to be mixing this with her kibble so she has a nice hard crunchy dinner with the dinner I made her right here. So, and for any reason, if your dog did not enjoy, or my dog does not enjoy this, I can turn around and turn this into a soup. Just cook it longer, it'll turn into a broth, and enjoy it for myself. I don't know how many people I just skeeved out by telling you that, but everything in here we eat, so you could definitely enjoy it yourself too. This is my puppy dog. She is patiently waiting. Let's see if she likes it. Oh my gosh, there was no hesitation. Well, a lot of her foods she hesitates with, she doesn't enjoy. She leaves there forever until she gets really hungry. So, she is loving this one. She's eating it up. This is just a little taste test. I'm actually glad and excited. So, and what I made is going to last a long time. But don't stop watching. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with all that and how I'm going to get it to last. So you saw how small my dog is. There's no way she's going to eat all of this before it ends up expiring. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to freeze it, and I'm going to be putting it into, I'm going to try and get a good view of what I'm doing, but putting it into ice cube and an ice cube tray so it'll last a little longer. So that should be enough right there. Uh-oh. Don't flow over, please. Where's my spatula? Here we go. So I'm just gonna coax it all the way over. So we have nice, even little cubes. So I'll freeze this bunch. And I'm still determining how much of this I will give her. Probably about the same amount that I've been giving her with the store-bought foods, but we'll see. So I'll be able to store these, and then I can store these into a ziploc container once they're frozen. And I'll do this again with the second half of the batch. And then the other half I could keep in the fridge and just have a spoon with it to dish out how much I want to give her. But that's how I made my puppy food. And I'm going to gross you out right now. I have a little... It's actually really good. Really good. So just remember, this is, you know, what we eat too. So you can enjoy with your puppy. Lightsaber. Stabber.